Hi, this is the first episode of a new show called Luke's Lock. I'm kind of travelling around Canada at the minute, based in Vancouver. Moved almost exactly a week ago. And yeah, it's going to be kind of me travelling around Canada and kind of updating mostly friends and family. But if you're not one of those, then hello, hi. My name's Luke, as the name suggests. And yeah, welcome on this little journey with us. It's going to be kind of like a little cozy little catch-up show about the exciting stuff we've been getting on with. And if you're thinking about moving to Canada and might need convincing, this is probably the place for you, or need some tips and tricks as someone that's doing it. I'm going to try and provide some of those for you as well. But it's going to be kind of like a cozy little show. We're going to be a little story time vibe. I think today, all we're going to do is, we've been here a week. I think the best way to go is just give you a chronological idea of like the journey through and kind of all the stuff we managed to pack into our first week here in Vancouver, BC, Canada. Kind of weird to say that we live here now, but we're here, we're doing it. So yeah, I think let's go ahead, get cozy and get started. Oh Jesus. Okay, so it all started on the fateful morning of the 16th. This is way too serious. Let me turn the light on. Give me a sec. Alright, that's better. Hang on. Anyway, morning of the 16th. Very, very nervous. Never kind of moved countries before. It's a whole new kind of experience, Never really done this. We got up nice and early. Well, not too early, not horrific. Our flight was at like 2:50 p.m. Not too bad at all. Pretty comfortable, if I'm honest. But yeah, we both me and my travelling partner Miranda live kind of out in Essex. If you're from the UK, kind of out in the countryside. So we left. Her parents came in to collect me, and I said kind of my emotional goodbyes to my sibling and my dad around probably like 8:30 in the morning, something like that. And then we headed off, road trip to Heathrow Airport. Kind of got most of the way there, got kind of our bags checked in to the airline and everything, all nice and smooth. Even got to go to the back rooms of Heathrow, Terminal 3, I think, because there was some like ski equipment that Miranda needed checking. She had to run away. So me and her dad went into the back rooms. It was like super creepy, super weird, but pretty funny, interesting to see kind of how they deal with all that stuff. Yeah, we were there doing all this. Everything was running very, very smoothly. Kind of went and had a little like Pret lunch, very London experience, fantastic. And then kind of Miranda's parents said goodbye, did their very emotional kind of waving, take care of yourself and like all this, which is lovely. And then we headed through security, kind of nerves ramping up now, starting the journey for real, like really getting going. I'm like, okay, cool, here we go. Went, sat down for half an hour, kind of got some like snacks and British, like, I think we got some like tea biscuits and like some like tea selections and stuff from the airport to give our Airbnb hosts that we'd booked. So we said, cool, let's get going. Went to look for the gate half an hour later, expecting number like 350 or whatever. Gate one. I've never been so close in my life. Like I've flown a fair amount. Gate 1, unbelievable, incredible, loved it, beautiful experience. Anyway, got onto the plane, nice and easy. Now the plane ride was good, easy, smooth, clean, end to end. It was Heathrow to Calgary was our first leg. It's about 9 hours, 9.5, something like that. And I had a middle seat between this kind of middle-aged couple, and they were quite funny. Like they're really chatty, and like I got talking to them, and they were from Vancouver Island, which was like fantastic for me to like speak to. I was like, oh, I'm actually moving to Vancouver the first time. Do you mind like giving us some tips and stuff like that? And they're like, yeah, no problem, and like really lovely to chat to. And then I was sitting, like, there's probably a diagram right now, but I was sitting in the middle of them, like it was 3 seats across, and the wife was sitting at the window seat, and the guy was sitting on the aisle seat, and I was in the middle. I was like, guys, do one of you want to swap? Like, do you want to sit next to each other? Like, they're thinking I was being nice, and I'm like, nah, it's all right. Don't worry about it. I was like, are you sure? Like, you could, I don't mind. It's cool. Like, we're all friends now. It's fine. No, like, nah, it's all right. I was like, okay, cool. You don't like each other. That's fine. So that was kind of funny. And then Miranda was sitting directly in front of me with the diagrams expanding, presumably. But the guy to her right received some inappropriate texts before takeoff, which was hilarious because it was funny. Like, only I was privy to it due to the like angle of the seats, but like super funny. I was like, wow, good for you, dude. Go off. And then the guy to the left was kind of even funnier because it was longer lasting. And like he watched, like, as I say, 9.5 hour flight ish, and he managed to watch probably like 10 to 12 films in that time. And he's saying, how is this humanly possible? How can you possibly watch that many films in that amount of time? Because it's not possible. I was like, great question. And I was watching him again because of the angle of the seats, and I was watching the screen, and what he'd do is he'd pick a film, scroll to the middle, and then watch like 20 minutes to half an hour of the middle of the film. Like, soak in the vibe of the film, make a judgment off that, and then go, yeah, that's good enough for me, moving on to the next film. What a brave strategy, dude. Like, just to watch films like that. Absolutely incredible film. Fair play to you. Do your thing. Whatever. Very funny. Me, personally, I listen to a bunch of albums. They're ranked on screen right now. Great time. I think I really enjoyed all of them but one. I can't remember what the one is. It might have been Tom Mish's thing. Sorry, Tom. But I can't remember what they're ranked on screen right now. I'll have checked afterwards. Editor me is doing his thing. Also watched a couple of films. Watched Smile first, which like emotionally scarred me, particularly on a plane. And like, it was funny, like the couple either side of me were watching like really wholesome like family films, and I was watching this like super gory like psychological thriller where this lady's like losing her mind. It's fantastic. And then kind of later on in the flight, I watched the newest Thor film, which is fine. Like, it was cool, like entertaining enough. Good like back end of the flight type of movie. It was good. It was cool. Anyway, got through. Oh, the other thing to mention about the flight, I completely forgot. It was so hot. It was so warm. Like, I remember like standing up whenever like someone needed to go to the toilet or whatever, and just my back being soaked in sweat because I was wearing several layers, right? Like, everyone's like, Canada's super cold, like you're gonna need like so many layers. I was like, cool. So I was like, thermals, trousers, you know, t-shirt, shirt, jumper, coat. And like, I took the coat off, and I took like as much as I humanly could off, but I was still roasting in there. And by the time we got off the plane, both of us were just like, we smell so bad. Not setting a good impression to anyone we meet today, but you know, whatever. Airports are a different world. It's cool. We'll live. So, moved on. Did a thing. Got off the flight. Nice and easy. As I said, landed in Calgary. It was like 4 o'clock local time. Calgary, which is central time, I believe. And the next kind of stressful part that neither of us had really done before was collecting our work permit. So we're both kind of on our the IEC, which is the International Experience Canada, which is kind of like a young people thing to get involved in Canada and come work, basically. And the maximum you can work for is 2 years, and to do that you got to go get a work permit as soon as you land on the country. So that's what we did. And we kind of ran through security. We didn't run through security, we weren't being chased or anything, but you know, made our way. And we went to the work permit place, and this was our first kind of experience of like Canadian hospitality. The dude running it, so kind, gorgeous accent, loved it. 10 out of 10 experience. Took about an hour, which is fine. Just show you like a couple of documents, get everything sorted, and then they give you a piece of paper, and it's just like, yeah, you can work no matter, like, do what you want. Aside from a couple of things that I won't mention. I was like, cool, excellent. That stress is over, moving on. We purposely chose our like next flight to be like 5 hours later than our previous one, just so that if that took a really, really long time, we weren't too stressed, which happened to a few people that were waiting. But yeah, for us it was fine. It just meant we had like 3 hours spare before we needed to move. So we walked around the airport for a bit, seeing what was available, sat down at A&W, which is kind of like a fast food place, if you've never been. And there was poutine on the menu. So I said, you know what, let's kick the Canadian experience off with the most Canadian food I can find, aside from maybe maple syrup, and let's give it a go. So let's put, you know, I don't know how I'm doing with the editing, but let's put a little Canadian experience counter up here. So yeah, Canadian experience, number one, poutine, fantastic. If you're from the UK, if you're from the north, it's gravy and chips with cheese. So it's like cheesy chips with gravy. It's combining our favourite things. It was gorgeous. It was exactly what I needed. A little salty snack. Delicious. Can't recommend more. So, you know, already feeling good about being in Canada. Nothing stressful had happened. Baggage was cool. They got automatically transferred between planes, so we didn't have to worry about our enormous suitcases. Happy days. So we were just waiting around. We'd been probably awake for about 16 hours at this point. No, much longer than that. About 20 hours at this point. So we were both pretty tired. By the time we actually got on the plane, we were both effectively falling asleep. And we boarded this plane much, much smaller. It was literally going to hop across the mountain to Vancouver to drop us off. So it would take like an hour and a half. And the people on this plane were so loud. I don't know what, like, I don't know if it was just because I was tired and grouchy or whatever. They were so loud. It was like enthusiasm beyond belief. I was like, nah, dude, relax. I'm trying to listen to some smooth jazz and like knock back right now. Get maybe a little nap in. And you're shouting about some like dating drama that I don't even have the mental capacity to be like invested in for this next hour and a half. Otherwise I would have loved it. I was like, relax. They were jumping around the plane. It was stressful. Anyway, only an hour and a half we managed. It was all good. We landed, picked up our baggage after forever waiting at the carousel. All good. Moved on. Spent like an hour trying to find the shuttle to the hotel that we'd booked. For that night, because we got in at like 11 local time, so like nothing was going to be open and no Airbnbs were taking our bookings because no one wanted to stay up that late. So yeah, we eventually found the shuttle and got into this hotel, which was lovely. Dropped our bags off. We both, I think, managed to get to sleep round about 1, nice and cozy, get our first night's sleep in. We'd both been awake for like 27 hours or something at this point, so we're pretty knackered, I'd say. So, you know, we're kind of like moving on to the next day, you know. So, yeah, we kind of woke up in the morning. Neither of us had slept all that well, I'll be honest. But, you know, enough to survive for the next few hours. Both got up at like 9, I want to say. I'm in this airport hotel thinking, hey, maybe we should have some breakfast, you know, get it going. So we headed downstairs, free breakfast included of our stay, lovely. Went down, had some, it was like a big old waffle with some like sugar syrup, which is like basically like maple syrup, but it didn't say maple syrup on it. So as much as I want to include it on the like Canadian experience checklist, I might give myself like a half because it's almost there, but I've not had like the proper like maple syrup stuff yet. But you know, might include it, might not. We'll see. Yeah, I had a little waffle and syrup situation for breakfast. Delicious, exactly what I needed. Headed back up to the room, packed up again. Headed out around 11 because we needed to check out. Got a taxi into the city finally, and headed to our Airbnb that we booked for our first month. We got there, I think, like 12, something like that, and met our Airbnb host, Ashley, who is one of the most lovely, ditzy little people I've ever come across in my entire life. She's just, man, I don't know, it's so hard to describe. She just kind of like runs about everywhere and is like super lovely and super like thoughtful about everything. It's just lovely. And she kind of like, she got us in, explained the situation of, you know, like the normal Airbnb stuff, like here's the heating, here's the cookers, whatever, you know, here's the code to get in. And then drove us around all afternoon, picking up like groceries, showing us all the good places and stuff like that. And then took us to this Vietnamese restaurant for some pho, which is stunning, exactly what we like. It was good, like a hearty meal, which is what we needed, some vitamins after a flight. it was fantastic. Like she was just so lovely and helped us out a lot. So shout out Ashley. Then yeah, we kind of collapsed after the day. You know, we got back in, put away our first load of groceries and stuff, and kind of unpacked a little, and then we were like, oh, I think it's time to sleep. You know what I mean? Just gotta get back on the sleep schedule. So it got to like 8 and we were both like literally falling asleep. So we said, hey, let's just go call it a night, get a full night's sleep and start again tomorrow with like admin and stuff. So that's exactly what we did. And woke up the next day. It's now Wednesday night, 17th. And we were just there, ready to go. Finally, after a full night's sleep, kind of, you know, jet lag was wearing off. We were good to go. Kind of starting the new day, thinking about the actual admin we had to start with. And the first piece is SIN number. And the SIN number, if you're in the UK, is kind of like a national insurance number. If you're in the US, kind of social security. It's what you give your work to kind of identify who you are and like how much tax you should be paying and stuff like that. Just like an identifier for the state. But pretty essential if you want to be looking for work like we are. So we went to kind of explore and try and find a Service Canada, is what they call it, which is a place you go and find it. So it was the first day we went out kind of on our own to explore. And first thing we noticed, like we got up quite early and we started exploring a little bit. And we walked over this hill and then there were mountains. And look, mountains in the sun, and it was gorgeous. It was so good. And it was like our first real like we're in Canada now, you know, like we've really kind of reached the point that we want to be at. Like that's why we came, to see mountains every day. Like work could be terrible, but then we'll walk outside and there's some mountains out there, and it was fantastic. And that was just like the most wonderful moment, like finally being coherent and like awake, and mountains just mountains with light is good. And it was so nice, it was so good. And then we kind of another amazing thing was like we were trying to work out the bus system, and turns out it's very, very similar to TfL, the bus system in London. And I think it was actually made by the same company, so that makes sense. But they've kind of got bonus features, which is fun. Like the buses have got like a bike rack on the front. So if you like cycling, you can, but still want to get on the bus, you don't have to clog the bus up by bringing your bike on. You just put it on the front of the bus, and you don't have to kind of find a button around you to like stop the bus. There's like a wire all the way around the bus that you just pull, and that stops the bus somehow. It's cool. It's great. It's so convenient. It's great. And it's kind of tap on, tap off like it is in the UK. Flat fare all the way across Vancouver. It's like $3, which I think is like £1.90. And yeah, it just worked so well. It was super efficient and everyone was super nice. Like I was also like, oh sorry, we're like moving around. It's great. So that was another fantastic experience. And then we got to Service Canada, and that was not a good experience. We were sat there for like 3 hours waiting to get our just this one number, and it was so painful. It was fine because we had nothing else to do. We knew it was going to take us long from other people's experiences, but like, it just took a long time. It was like, cool, put that in the files. Started moving, went and got some food. Then next task was setting up a bank account. Because, you know, we hadn't been in the country before, needed a Canadian bank account. So it was like, cool. We kind of decided on this beforehand. We decided we were going to go with CIBC. Just because they have kind of this policy for, like, international newcomers, where they kind of waive a lot of fees for the first 2 years, and our work permit is only available for the first 2 years. So it was like, well, perfect. We'd have to pay significantly less if we use this. So we set up like debit cards, credit cards, savings accounts, stuff like that. Got it all sorted. There was this lovely guy, I'm going to put his name on screen, I can't remember, fantastic guy, super helpful, explaining everything, getting stuff set up, really, really efficient and helpful. Love you, mate. You big fucking, you did a great job. Love you. But yeah, I got that done super quick. Kind of explored more of the area, saw more mountains. Then even got a library card set up that day. It was like a super efficient day. We were just walking around, just been like, oh, we should do that. We should get this. We should. And it was like, it just worked. It was great. Literally all you need for a library card is like photo ID and proof of address, which actually on the SIN document there's your address. So we just use that. We're like, is that right? And they're like, yeah, it's fine. So we got a library card, which is great. Big readers. So that was done. And then, what day was this? Wednesday? Yeah. So then we headed back, chilled, got some like extra stuff on the way back. Had some lunch, had a little snack with Ashley. She always invited us to eat with her. And then we headed off again after a little rest, picked up our energy, and had got the SkyTrain to downtown. Lots of Canadian words. And the SkyTrain is effectively the tube, but it's in the sky. It's just a train that's not underground, which again, super efficient. Really tiny trains though, like it's like 2 carriages. Funny though. But yeah, we like popped out in the middle of downtown, kind of like in the evening, and it was the most like overwhelming experience. Like I fully understand now, like tourists that have never been to London and just popping out like in say like Tottenham Court Road station, like coming out onto Oxford Street in like peak hours, it just being like chaos, because like there was this guy like rapping at the top of the stairs like super loud, and there was like this old lady like breakdancing with him that clearly like wasn't scripted, it was just like there. And then like there was these like cool police cars like screeching past at the same time, this like junction, and everything was super loud, and there was loads of lights, and there was so many people. It like Miranda said at the time, was like, this feels like a movie, like what's going on? So that was really funny, but like a great introduction to like downtown, because like the area we were staying, which is like West Point Grey, like, and kind of Kitsilano in general, that kind of side towards UBC is like super suburban and pretty calm, whereas like you can go into the city and it's like really kind of hectic, which I really like. I enjoy that kind of challenge as a commuter. So I hopped in there, and the reason we were going downtown is because we had tickets to an NHL game, which again, experience counter, ding, go off, do your thing, because yeah, NHL hockey in general is very Canadian. They love it. Turns out the Canucks, which is Vancouver's home team, not very good. Very sorry to any Canucks fans. They kind of suck. They were playing This Is the Score real bad, very sad. But I had a great time. Very kind of Canadian experience. You know, they sung "Oh Canada," and they sung the American national anthem as well, because the other team was American. It was the Tampa Bay team, and yeah, it just felt very, you know, it was another moment being like, oh, you're in Canada again, you know, like just being like, oh yeah, we're here doing the Canadian thing. And game was great, fantastic experience. We went with a couple of other Brits that Miranda had been in contact with previously, including one that was on a university course, and like it was really nice like chatting with other people for the first time, you know, having like a proper like social interaction with like people our age. It was like super nice, great experience. So it was just like a lovely evening. Did have a $22 Budweiser though, that was just like, it hurt my soul. Like obviously it's the same at like all sports stadiums, but I was just like like I was too distracted. The guy I was speaking to, like was serving me, was Irish. I was like, what? Like he started serving me. I was just like, where are you from, dude? He was like, oh, I'm Irish, but I've been in Canada for 10 years. I was like, oh, that explains the mishmash of accent. He was like, yeah, all this is like, here's $22. I was like, what? But otherwise, completely like great experience. I had a really nice time. But yeah, like the tiredness kind of came over us once again. So we headed home, ready for another big sleep, and kind of just got ready for a new day, you know. And that's kind of when things kind of kicked up a gear in terms of like exploration, you know. And suddenly we were doing a lot more exploring, being more social and stuff. So we headed out the next day, Thursday now. I can't keep track of the days. Editor me, please put the day on the screen. Thank you, much appreciated. But yeah, we kind of kicked off our next exploration day. Had some breakfast, laid in a little bit because we're both pretty exhausted. But then got up and we said, hey, let's go have an explore. This time we're going to try by the beaches. So here's a map. Kitsilano Beach, that's where we started, or Kit's Beach, that's where we started. I felt very at peace. I love me some water. And we were kind of there, wandering around, gorgeous, could finally see some mountains again, mountains and water, very peaceful, love it. And lots of good spaces for kind of like coffee and reading or like picnics and stuff, particularly this time of year. And I imagine like it's phenomenal during the summer for like beach volleyball and stuff like that, if you're interested in that kind of thing. We kind of made our way around all the beaches following like this kind of route, all the way up to Granville Island. And Granville Island is really, really cool for several reasons. There's loads of like art galleries there, lots of kind of First Nation stuff in there, which is really, really fun, like interesting to learn about. A few like museums, there's like a theatre in there, and then there's also like a food market. So we stopped there for a little snack, just to kind of keep us going on the day, so we can keep seeing like fun sights and stuff. Like I had a little like, it was like a cookie sandwich type of thing, which is great. Like not like a cookie sandwich, like not cookie in bread, but like cookies as the bread. With it was like a cream and like a caramel inside. It was fantastic. It was so good. Anyway, getting off track. But yeah, stayed there for a bit, hung out, had a little snack. There was some like live music playing, which is always cool. And then got a little sea bus, I think that's what they call it, across the water up here. Very interesting experience. It was like a couple of dollars, whatever. Like generally a good mode of transport. Hopped across the way. And then kept walking around here, just kind of like up to the west end of Vancouver. Had another Canadian experience. Went into a Timothy Hortons, to use his full government name, or otherwise known as a Tim Hortons, which is just a very Canadian brand apparently. I had a little like iced coffee and it was like a roast beef sandwich, I think, which is lovely. Had a great time. Pops into a Dollarama, another experience there. Picked up some like, you know, fundamental essential stuff. Then kind of moved on. Kept walking around kind of the north side this time. Saw a bit more. Saw this enormous orca made out of giant pieces of Lego. Very fun experience. There's also the Olympic torch was kind of there, or at least the Olympic torch holder was there. Pretty fun, pretty good time. Lots of like it was finally nice to see like downtown during the day, particularly as you like ducked slowly into it and saw a few more of the buildings. But another mission for the day was to get me a phone contract because Miranda had sorted out her own kind of thing. I still needed a Canadian phone number because a lot of Canadian companies don't like it when you use UK stuff. So I was like, cool, let me go get a Canadian SIM, get that sorted. We kind of had a look at a few different options and stuff. Finally decided on going with a company called Phonebox, who used the Rogers network, one of the bigger network, well, one of the kind of three really big networks here. And it was like $45 for 25 gig of data, everything else unlimited. Generally, phone contracts here are pretty expensive compared to the UK, considering I was like paying, it was like £10 a month for, it was like 15 or 20 gigs of data with giffgaff in the UK. It's just quite, it's a lot, yeah. Don't know, it's fine. You know, there's going to be ups and downs in the money. Is what it is. Lost that battle, but that was kind of the best deal we could find at the time. All good. Moved on, victory, happy days, got to see more stuff. Then we kind of had a bit more of an explore, went to the Vancouver City Library, which is gorgeous, love me a library. Kind of round, lots of cool architecture. They've got lots of like outdoor seating and stuff, which is like really fun. Like there was this guy sitting, doing like a work call in like this one outdoor space all over there. It was pretty fun. I picked up a book there, it was Thoughts and Experience. It's like, what do you call it? Philosophy. It's a philosophy book, and it's really hard to read, but you know, it's good. New experience and new kind of topics and stuff. Very meta thinking. It hurts my brain thinking about it. But yeah, we went all the way to the top, and you got these like really cool views, particularly at night. You can see all like the city lights and stuff, which is really nice. And then we actually had a social activity again in the evening, and one of the people we'd met at the Canucks game, it was her birthday that day. and she's very, very active on lots of the kind of Brits in Vancouver chats and stuff. So she'd organised drinks with a bunch of Brits in Vancouver, and she'd booked for 30 people. I think about like 20 something of us came, so it was a good booking. But we got there pretty early, met lots of new people, which is fantastic. Had a couple of drinks there, which is fun. As I say, social. It was nice to actually meet people and spend time and kind of get to know some people. Start to build like a little like social group out here. So I'm kind of looking forward to getting to know those people a bit more. And then I kind of got to like 9ish, and we again the tiredness trademarked. So we decided to go home and rest up, particularly because we had a really big day coming. And that day was going up Whistler. Now, if you don't know geography, Whistler is the big old mountain in Canada, or Vancouver, sorry, BC. And there's lots of mountains, obviously, but it's like the big one. So we headed up there on a bus early in the morning, and we were a bit worried halfway up. We were like, it's quite cloudy. Obviously, like, you want good weather, it to be sunny, you want to be able to see everything. But it was a bit like murky and stuff. But we said, hey, no, it's going to be fine. And later on the day, look, here's the pictures. Mountains and mountains and skiing people and mountains and this little cute little village and mountains, and it was just gorgeous. Like, we were sitting there, I was like, we just had to stop. We had to stop several times just to be like, what is going on right now? This is far too pretty, you know? Like, there's too much going on, and I can't really deal with this. And, you know, we were there, and like, it was our first, like, I'll mention this actually. Most of the week, people have been like, oh, Canada's going to be really, really cold. And it just wasn't. Like, it was really quite mild. The weather report said it was going to be relentlessly moist. And I was just like, that might be my favourite weather report of all time. And it was pretty like wet and miserable for a lot of the beginning of the week, but that like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday was like really clear, really lovely. But obviously you got up the mountain, it's going to be like -4. So it was a little bit cold, but we'd prepared. But the sun came out and it was gorgeous, like mountains. And we went on this like valley path, like walking through, and we had this like frozen lake and these amazing views and stuff, and it was just... And like everything's bigger, like the trees are enormous and more green than they look. And then there's like the browns, and then like the mountain is, everything looks bigger from the base. And it's true from these mountains. And it just the enormity of everything. It's crazy. Like I can't speak. So... yeah, we kind of wandered around this valley trail, I think it was called. And it was gorgeous. There was this frozen lake. There was this guy cycling with his dog across the frozen lake, which is super surreal. As I say, gorgeous. Only mistake I made on the day was my Bloomsbury family, my previous job, love you all by the way, gifted me one of the best gifts I've ever received, which is a pair of Doc Martens. Now, for this very particular reason, hiking and stuff. I was like, cool, thank you very much, great idea. So I thought, we're going to be in snow, need some reliable waterproof shoes, let's wear the Docs. And I'd worn them a fair amount before this, and all Doc Marten owners know, you can't break them in. They are going to destroy your feet. I was like, surely I've broken them in enough, it's going to be fine. No. I got maybe like 6 hours into that day, and we were walking. I was like, mate, I have to stop. My feet really hurt. Like, I feel like I'm burning a little hole in the back of my foot. This is horrible. So, it was fine. We got most of the way around the trail, saw it just about as much as we could. We kind of sauntered back, me slowly limping more and more. It was fine. It's okay. I had a great time. Ignore it. So we made our way back. I had a look around a few of the shops and stuff. Dropped into a lot of gift stores. Pretty good. There was this amazing... vintage shop that was very reasonably priced, unbelievably, and I managed to find this jacket. Let me find the jacket. Cute, huh? super soft. Yeah, definitely will be going back there soon. Just because great clothes, affordable prices, lovely Australian women in there. By the way, lots of Australians up at Whistler. Very interesting. Like I was just like, oh, this can be a really like Canadian experience. Trait TM, and then like everyone in every shop, like everyone I spoke to was just like super Aussie. It was really funny. I was like, okay, but yeah, we just kind of wandered. We had some little like pancakes in the middle of the day, just to keep us going. Like I've never skied before. Rand has a little bit and loves it, and we're planning on skiing a bit the next couple of months. But I've just never had the opportunity nor money. But like watching these people come down the mountain, I was like, I want to give that a go. You know, like I'd seen videos and stuff and been like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. Like I think I get it. But this was just like, yeah, no, I need to go do that. Like that looks like fun. What else do we do? Oh yeah, there's the Olympic Village there because they held the Winter Olympics. That was really cool. By the time we got there, like the sun was coming down and mountains and light. You know, cried. No, I didn't. Not yet. We kind of stood around there. We got a free hot chocolate and biscuit unexpectedly, not from a stranger. Like there was a stand, and we were standing there just like not saying anything because we were just looking at the mountains and being like, this is cool. But then we kind of sauntered back into the village, waited a little bit because we had to get a taxi further up the mountain, because we'd booked this kind of exhibition thing called Valea Lumina. Now, Valea Lumina, we didn't really know if it was going to be like a touristy trap type of thing. But we booked it anyway because it looked really cool. And let me tell you, this might be one of the best things I have ever done in my entire life. It overwhelmed me. It's very difficult to make me cry. I'm very emotionally stunted in that way. But the way to do it is to overwhelm me with all my senses at the same time, with just like really beautiful stuff. And this did that. And we were just walking around, and basically what it is just like, it's a valley, and it's basically this enormous forest where they've set up like lights and like hidden speakers and stuff. And they just create these really cool environments with like the lights, and then there's like a different soundscape per thing that like transitions as you walk through based on like obviously the speakers you're hearing, but it transitions obviously at the speed you walk. And I didn't take many pictures or videos and stuff because I was sobbing, like I was crying. It was so gorgeous, and like, you know, we got some pictures and stuff, but it really doesn't do it justice. And we were really lucky because we got there right as it opened, and because we're fairly quick walkers, we were fast in, and so we just got like a really private experience, and I can't even describe it. It was so good. I like, if you're around there, go do it. It's stunning, so gorgeous, unbelievable. Just please go check it out. Once we kind of finished up there, we came out, had another hot chocolate, headed back down the mountain again to come home. By this point, it was really cold, and we needed to head home because we'd been up for a long time and had walked a lot, so it was further sleeping time. So we did that. Came home, had another fat sleep, and nothing really planned for the Saturday. So we slept in all morning. It was great. Had a great time. But you know, we Ashley had already invited us actually to Lunar New Year kind of gathering, which is that Saturday. So we were like, yeah, sure, no problem. So she was like, oh, can you guys help cook and stuff? So Miranda ended up helping with like preparing some fish and stuff. And originally there was gonna be like 9 people there, including us, which was like neighbours, Ashley's son and a daughter and stuff. But yeah, it ended up being about 7. It was like this really like nice adult social interaction, which was really nice, and like the food was amazing. Like Ashley's friend had come over and she cooked a lot. There was like these noodles and rice and like fish, and there was some like spare ribs, and it was gorgeous. And we walked away with a lot of it because we lived downstairs, and we'll be snacking on that forever. But fantastic, great experience. Got kind of a lot of like cultural insight. Like one of the neighbours was an architect and works entirely with now like is retired and now like works on projects with only the Indigenous around BC. It's really interesting to hear about. And the other neighbour was an artist, and it was interesting to see kind of what the art scene's like around here. That was really fun. Yeah, not much to report there. It was just like a really wholesome evening. Had a really nice time, lots of nice food, nice people. That's all we can really ask sometimes. Again, kind of finished up around 10 because I was like nodding off. I was like, thanks guys, see ya. And then Sunday, we woke up in the morning and there was the first kind of Chinese New Year parade going on in Vancouver. So we were like, oh yeah, let's go see that. That'd be great. Met up with some more Brits in Vancouver, got to chat to more amazing people. Great time, fantastic. Lovely to meet you guys if you're watching. And you know, we were kind of watching, really like fun cultural experience. Kind of a different part of town than we've been to as well. It was all around kind of Chinatown, which is really nice. Got to see obviously like dragon dances and stuff. And then I heard someone, like we were standing in the crowd, I heard someone be like, that's Trudeau. I was like, what? I turned around, I was like, nah, surely not. Nah. And we were kind of there, I was like, no, I'm not going to say anything. So I was kind of like that, like furthest downstream. I was like, no way. I turn around and I see more and more like security people. I'm like, okay. And then there he was, Mr. Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada, just hanging out, walking along. There he goes. So yeah, I think that's a Canadian experience. I think we can pretty much at this point come home, you know. Oh no, to be fair, haven't probably had maple syrup yet. So once we've done that, we can go. We're done. See you later. But yeah, that was pretty funny. Rest of the thing was cool. There was this dancing orca that was pretty funny. That was great. Obviously, like the fire department kind of was going along, setting off the sirens and stuff. Lots of people dancing and things. It was a pretty cool experience. And then all of us Brits walked up to this like food truck festival thing, which was fun. Kind of collected some food. I had parathas with it's like paneer in like spinach curry, like kind of taco situation. It was gorgeous, but I wasn't feeling all that well. I don't know, it was like I was like super tired or just like too cold or something, but I wasn't feeling all that good. So we ended up kind of coming home fairly early and resting up a bit. Came back and had another snack with Ashley and just kind of had a chill Sunday evening. And then today's Monday, pretty much done the same thing. Just kind of chilled all day. Caught up on admin, you know, transferred some accounts over, sorted out some money stuff. You know, boring things, but things that need to be done. Now I'm sitting here recording this with you guys, which is funny. So yeah, that kind of brings us to the end. That's kind of the update for the week, I guess. Couldn't have asked for a more Canadian beginning. You know, it's been a lot of fun meeting people, and you know, we're safe and comfortable, and you know, I got all our documents sorted, which is great. No issues with Duggage, unbelievable. It's about the best first week we could have asked for, really. So super happy with how things are going. Slowly getting more comfortable and letting kind of the anxiety slide away. But yeah, no, it's been good fun. You know, and even now we're trying new experiences. I'm doing this. Never thought I'd be staring down a camera lens right now, but we're gonna give it a go. So you know, let me know how was the camera angles thing weird? I don't know. Like, I thought I'd try it. It'd be funny. I don't know how well the transitions are gonna come out when I edit this together, but yeah, if it's strange, if it's not, hey, let me know. I'm gonna be trying to be posting here a little bit more often than I was making radio shows back in the day. Oh yeah, if you didn't know me before this, and you want to hear my voice more for some reason, I used to do radio shows about science. So there you go. There's the things on screen. It's called R&D. Did it on Bloomsbury Radio. Go check that out if you want to listen to me interview people about their scientific stuff, because you know I'm a science boy at heart. But yeah, this is going to be a bit more travel-y. I hope like the stories were fun today. Yeah, as I say, I'm hoping I'm going to find other Canadian people to bring in to speak about this stuff. If you want to see more like pictures and like get more frequent updates and stuff, follow this Instagram. It'll be on screen at the minute. It's chemists. in Canada on Instagram. Ryana's a lot more better at posting more often than I am. So go have a look at the pictures and see what we've been up to more recently, probably than this video goes out, because it's going to take me ages to do all this footage, because it's taken me like an hour to record this. Oh no, much longer than that. 2 hours. Oh dear. Good luck me editing this together. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. Love you all. I hope you're having a good time wherever you are. I miss all of you that I know, and I hope all of you that I don't know are having a good time hanging here. I can't believe you've made it all the way to the end of this. I'm very surprised. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. This is a show called Luke's Log, and I've been Luke. See you next time. What am I saying? Wait, I hate that. Try again. Travel show? No. Why? This is going to be a bit of a... Right. Where? Hello, welcome to Luke's Log. Oh, why am I...